All right. Yep, we are live and back, and this time we have everything working. I hope.
We do?
Pray to God.
Maybe.
I will probably. I would say I'd punch an infant, but there are too many infants around where I live, and I think that would be bad. Anyway, so I don't have any real announcements here at the beginning of this, so I'm going to go ahead and just jump into the recap. So,
Excuse me.
where we last left our party, they tricked some savages into coming to the front gate and opening the gate. Upon taking them out, the party continued forward, walking into the heart of the savage encampment. Walking into the middle of the camp, the party found themselves forced into a combat as the savages issued command to kill the party. After a fierce and deathly close encounter, the party emerged victorious, near death and completely drained, but victorious. And that is where we kind of rejoin the party, as they are kind of taking a moment as the battle has died down around them, and they take a moment to take in their surroundings. You guys are currently spaced out on the map. If you guys can still able to see it. All of you badly hurt, and nearly out of resources. And you guys can see Jaya over here, who is actually heading towards you, Dinok, as I believe you were probably one of the next lowest at that point in time.
12.
But noticing that the combat has ended, he's actually going to start making his way immediately this way towards the individuals that appear to be manacled and pinned to a spike.
I'm gonna head that way. Who is this one over here?
You're not sure. It's a young woman. Looks beaten and bloodied.
What race? What race?
This is a. That's what I was flipping my notes around for. This is a female gnome. Judging from your knowledge, probably not even. Probably not even a decade. Probably only a couple decades old at her current age. Just judging from appearance.
So can I get right here and try and see what I can do with the manacles?
Yeah.
So I'm going to not shoot, but I'm going to see if I can get my firebolt. Hot enough to try and melt.
I would say this would be more of an
Arcana
check. Trying to keep fire concentrated and just so that you know, the spike is there. It's a very large spike. It's probably 8 inches in diameter. Yeah, about in diameter. It's this really thick pole that she is currently kind of like leaned her back up against, and her manacles
How
kind
tall?
of like the spike itself is actually taller than you. Just barely, but it is. And the way that the manacles are on both wrists, and then the chains are held up above her, and almost crucifixion style into the wood, like between the two chains.
Okay, so I need to be on this side to get to him.
Technically, yes.
Because last week you said that this one was tied, her hands behind the pole.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that. This individual is her body is very elongated due to the way that the chains are up. You can see her like just barely standing on her tippy toes, trying to keep the pressure off of her shoulders.
All right. Arcana roll. Please no ones.
As you
Not a
like,
one.
as you kind of approach and flick the fire into your hand, you can watch her like recoil and grimace and just no, almost beginning to whimper as you get closer with the fire.
Hey, D-Knock? Don't you have a dagger or something? Or am I thinking of the wrong character?
I'm gonna try and melt the metal. My plan.
Okay.
All right. While you're trying to get closer,
So I'm going to. I'm gonna try and pacify her and tell her it's alright. It's alright. I'm just trying to melt those shackles. Not gonna hurt you.
go ahead and make a persuasion check with disadvantage. There's reasons for the disadvantage that you're not quite aware of. 13?
Eh.
Okay. She doesn't like keep fighting like completely, but you see her almost turn submissive in a way. And kind of when that kind of happens, you actually can hear from the other side here. You kind of hear this other girl who is an elf struggling against some bindings and who has been gagged, and you like see her like physically struggling against the chains now, and like probably trying to yell at you, but you can't tell because of the gag. Seeing that you have a kind of approached that one, Jaya is actually going to make. That's about as far as you would. What are the rest of you doing?
I want to go look at the dead body.
The girl on the so this is the one here. She is a human female, fair skin. Her eyes are wide but misted over. Blonde hair. Maybe 20 years of age.
Okay.
Is there anything specific you're looking for?
I was wondering, like, because on the map it almost looks like it might be a ritual killing. To me.
Go ahead and roll religion.
Okay. $14.
Okay. This definitely appears to be ritualistic in a way. In what way, you're not completely sure, but there is a lot of blood for it not to be some kind of ritual. As you're kind of getting here closer, and you're a medical man of sorts, you can see that part of the reason why she is so pale currently is due to the lack of blood.
Oh. All right then.
Cardin, Katya, is there anything you guys would like to do?
Well, I haven't gotten a chance to get a closer look at this two-headed dog, so I want to go. And I've never seen anything quite like that before, so I want to go take a look at that.
Okay. Anything particular you're wanting to do or achieve, or are you just trying to figure out what it is?
Figure out what it is and see if I might be able to I guess, take something of value from it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an
What?
Arcana check to begin with to identify the creature.
Arcana. Strong suit. Here we go. 22.
Better than the other one.
Right.
Yeah.
With a 22, this two-headed dog, it is actually a death dog.
Mm-hmm.
You would have briefly heard bits and snippets of it from books that you've read. They're dogs that are breeded in the nine hells occasionally, and when one of them makes it to the surface, they're very large and very difficult to control.
So you said it came from the Nine Hills, like also demons.
I said it's bred from there.
Bred from. Okay. So my best guess is whatever they were doing around here may have some connection. You're making a lot of noise.
Sorry. I'm just away.
My wife decided to come out at this moment. I'm gonna venture a guess that whatever they were doing here might have some connection to demon kind on the surface, but I don't know.
You're welcome to make that
It's just
guess, but you don't know.
There's no way to prove it.
Mhm.
It's just a theory. Now, as for anything I might be able to take of value from it, like a claw, or maybe I could cut its foot off.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
This is where I'm going to go. Or not. 16.
Both your rolls are good.
I know.
Second. I mean, it doesn't really have anything of value. As you're kind of cutting into it, you notice that it doesn't necessarily have any kind of poison sacs or anything like that. So you probably just cut like its paw off and take its paw as like a trophy or some kind. You're not sure if it's going to be of any value or not, but
Let's see. One dog paw. Got it.
Arden, is there anything you would like to do in this moment? Carden?
Blind. No.
Oh boy.
Maybe he's not so much blind, but more like mute.
Not muted. Maybe he just stepped away for a minute.
I'm a barbarian. What do I need to be here for? Oh,
Is this better?
Yeah,
yes,
we hear you.
significantly.
Okay, I just had to disconnect, reconnect. I'm going to try and basically loot the bodies.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Investigation.
That's not too bad.
14?
I'll give you what I got. So, what is it?
14.
14? Okay.
Among all of the bodies, you managed to find about 20 gold pieces. In like loose change. It's like, coppers and silvers, but it amounts to about 20 gold.
Okay.
That's between all of the guards and stuff like that. All right. Enoch, go ahead and give me another Arcana check as you're trying to.
Well, given that apparently this one is definitely trying to say something, I tell Jaya, ungag her first. There may be something going on that we don't know. Then we can get work on releasing her hands.
He steps up and kind of removes the gag from her mouth, and she kind of just. The chain's just taut. The chain is just taut. Just lift it.
I
As
look at the chain.
as she points it out, you kind of notice that the chain itself isn't the spike that's in the post isn't isn't through the center of the chain, but it's high enough up that she couldn't get the chain off of it due to her height, stature, weakness currently, just not being able to move it because of not being able to gather any momentum. If you gather that if you are strong enough, you could lift the chain off essentially the crooked nail. Because I say strong enough because you basically have to lift her up as well.
How tall
short
is
people-
this one?
She's a gnome.
Yeah, she's a
Yeah,
gnome.
but
She's
still.
not. She's not very tall. But you do see
Okay,
what
but
she's
at the same
indicating.
time, I'm a weak mage.
The DC isn't
True.
the DC isn't very high, but you don't know that. What would Denock do?
Given that she's looking rough, he's not going to take the chance of harming her further, and he's going to call out to Carden. Hey, Carden, can you come here, please?
Yeah, I can come there.
All right.
And he's going to ask Carden to help him lift her up and release the chain.
Yeah, no, Carden comes over. Carden comes over and helps you, assists you lift the chain off. And as you get her off of the chain and stuff, and you set her, and you kind of like put her on her feet, you watch as she instantly like kind of like crumples to her hips, letting out this kind of like painful
thank God.
cry.
I was going to say an oh thank God moment, but apparently not.
I mean, she's hurt. She's badly injured and is still not completely sure what your purpose or goal is, but she has been freed from her spike, but not from her manacles.
Ooh.
You watch now as the elf kind of turns to Jaya and just, Jaya, quickly unbind me. He kind of like walks behind her and he just goes, that might be a little difficult. As she too is manacled, but it is completely behind the post.
Okay, now that I'm done messing with the dog over here, I'm gonna investigate what everybody else is doing up at the top of the camp.
Okay, so you make your way north.
Yeah.
I want to look in the big tent if I
Okay. Yeah, you
get
can
a
go in there.
chance. The big thing in here.
Yeah, you're welcome to go in there. Inside there is essentially a couple of places for what looks to be bed linens. You see three different essentially sleeping bags or bed linens. One seems to be kind of undisturbed, and then you see different troughs of different kinds of food, mostly like berries and vegetables and like apples that may grow around kind of locally. You see a couple of whetstones in here, seem to have been used to sharpen blades and whatnot.
How many whetstones are there?
There's a total of 3 whetstones.
3. I'm gonna take the whetstones.
Okay. And you do notice, kind of in one of the corners, kind of a very nice, kind of a longsword. It's a kind of large, but it looks very old in a sense. It still looks very usable, but it looks old. Like the craftsmanship is not from this era.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that too. Look at it later.
Okay.
Just an old longsword.
Yep.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's not a whole lot in there at the moment. Like I said, some food, but not a whole lot. You just kind of walking up and are watching this, Kadia?
As I approach, I'm gonna ask, does anybody need help with anything?
Not sure. Let me see what I can do back here. Now, I'm going to ask DM, is this one of those cases where I would need to melt? Like, I'm looking carefully.
Okay, so you take a look at it, and this set of manacles is actually very... how do I describe this? Very uncomfortable. This is a manacle that basically comes halfway up her forearms and are literally binding her forearms together.
Ooh.
If does that make sense? Visually?
Okay, so are they behind her?
Yeah, her arms are behind the post and behind her, and they are bound together, like at the forearms, essentially. It's a very uncomfortable looking position that her arms are in currently.
Okay, so what I'm going to ask is, does it look like I can melt this without hurting her much, or at all?
It would be... Go ahead and make an intelligence check for me.
Oh no.
You're smart, you're the wizard.
Yeah, but the dice sometimes say no. But, unnatural 20. I'll take it.
Alright.
Unnatural.
Excuse me. You gather you could do it. You could take them apart without injuring her if you were a master blacksmith.
Well,
That's not helpful.
What I was asking was, could I use firebolt to try and melt them?
If you were very proficient in blacksmithing tools, probably. The issue is the concentration. You're not sure. The concentration of magic. You're not sure where it would effectively put the heat in a relationship to her arms and stuff. And it would be you could certainly attempt it, but it is going to be very challenging to not injure her drastically. If that makes sense.
Okay, so I'm guessing we're just having two different ideas of what these manacles are. Because I'm thinking chained.
There is not a chain. There is not a chain between these two.
So it's a solid metal piece.
Yes, her forearms
Like
are literally...
That changes everything.
Yeah,
okay,
her forearms are literally touching. Think like the
Chinese finger trap.
Kind of, but the
Fair
whole
enough.
arm is that way. It's kind of like if you look at any like Avenger movie when they put those bad guys in like those massive manacles that are literally they look like cement kind of containers where their arms are just like straight down and they don't have a choice. That's effectively what she has on her hand.
Okay, that was important need to know information.
Yeah, sorry if I didn't describe that well enough.
Okay, never mind. You said it's 8 inches of spike? Or is this one different?
The spike is let's see, would be slightly smaller for for this purpose. It's probably about 6 inches in diameter. Maybe 4, just kind of eyeballing it. So think about the entire, like, it's about the size of an apple in terms of thickness.
And what does it look to be made out of?
The spike itself seems to be made out of wood.
Burn it.
Yes, thank you, Carden. I was about to call Carden.
Let's
Carden,
not
look-
light her on fire.
See if you can break the wood. No fire.
Okay.
Hey,
I'll try and break the wood. I'll try and break the
But-
wood.
hey,
Please be careful, because if you miss, you'll definitely damage the goods.
She kind of looks at you and goes, "I'm sorry, but I am not goods."
Okay, be careful, because if you hit her, you might damage the bads.
She gives you this look of, if I wasn't manacled to a post right now.
So, just,
Oh, you're
Robot.
roboting, Vert.
what?
You were
Robot is
roboting.
Yeah.
hard.
Hard.
My
Ooh.
now I
Ooh.
need to hang on.
Wow. I'm pretty sure he said in there, destroy all humans.
Hello? Is that better?
Yeah, that sounds
Little.
better.
A
Yeah.
little bit, yeah.
Okay. Is Valar is leaving the tent? He's gonna start checking all the bodies for keys.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check as Carden, you walk over behind kind of where Denock is. How do you attempt to break the wood?
I'm going to like, is it like protruding into her back, or how is it?
No, it's her arms are bent around a spike that has been placed into the ground and have been manacled behind the spike so that she is unable to escape.
How thick is the spike? You said about the thickness of an apple.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to straight
Oh, no.
yeah, I'm actually going to try and pull the spike out of the ground.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, okay.
Like, that is the least dangerous one I think we could do.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and make a strength check. 17.
17.
Okay. See how deep they decide to bury this thing. Not very deep. So, with that, it takes a bit of effort to kind of get purchase, and not in a manner that will like harm her, and you actually have her sit down at one point so that her hands are on the ground, and kind of manage to get this handhold around the spike, and it takes a minute, and you have to wiggle it back and forth a little bit, but eventually it kind of and pulls out of the ground. And it's at that point in time, Valinar, you actually are over here, and you find a set of keys on the individual here. It's like
I'm
a
gonna shout,
ring.
"Hey guys, I found the keys."
Keys?
And
Oh.
you just hear from Denock, oh, for fuck's sake.
Can we keep? I hate to ask this question, but do you think we could keep this spike?
I would like everybody to roll a perception check.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Uh
Oh god.
oh. Perception.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
19.
Oh,
Oh god.
that 6 will not work.
Perception is.
Well, if you think your 6 won't work, look at mine. Natural 1 plus 1.
You're really
13.
focused.
Okay. So
No, my face is in my hands, and I'm just sitting there, sitting there shaking my head with my face in my hands, like, oh.
all right.
There you go.
So Valinar, you're the only one of the party that notices, and it actually makes sense based off of your location.
no.
Oh boy.
You actually see that the gnomish girl is actually beginning to crawl this way, and hate it. And it's about the point that you kind of see her kind of move, like going that way. You actually hear the elven lady who's over here surrounded by the others kind of goes, where's Mela? And she kind of like begins moving and kind of walking around.
Who's Mela?
I'm gonna assume Mela's the gnome that's crawling away right now.
What?
What?
And I'm just gonna start making my way towards them with the keys.
Dash, 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 dash.
You guys run over and get in front of the gnome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you going?
She like kind of like stops, and like you guys kind of like get in front of her, and she like stops as at the foot of your boot there, Katya, and she looks up, and there are just tears streaming down her face. Her face is covered in dirt. You can see
what happened here?
You can see different scars here and there, and you watch as the elf comes and goes, Mela, no, if they were gonna hurt us, they would have already done it. She is just bawling at this point, like almost ugly crying, but
Okay, you said how old is this one? At least somewhere in the 20-ish?
they both seem to be early 20s or late teens.
Yeah, I'm going to gently try and hug her, just going, shh, it's okay, it's okay.
I'm assuming they're still in manacles.
She does. Actually, they both do technically. Go ahead and go ahead and roll a charisma check.
Let's hope I get a high roll. Nope.
Nope.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, okay, let's look at it this way. I'm a big lizard dude.
Yeah, with scales. Not exactly the most comfortable thing to be touched by.
He's also a necromancer.
She doesn't know that though.
Yeah.
Like the moment you kind of reach down and kind of touch her, she flinches and screams out in pain before you like even touch her almost. And she tries to kind of like roll away kind of out of your grasp, like not like trying to like flee, but trying to just avoid the touch.
Wow, Dinok. Maybe you should let me give that a try. You're terrifying this poor woman. And then Katya is gonna crouch down next to the gnome, and he's going to say, "It's all right. We're going to take you back home. We're going to get you cleaned up, try to get you back to your normal life. We don't want to harm you here."
And Valinar, are you walking up with the keys to free them?
Yeah, I'm gonna undo the elf's bindings thing.
The elves
Then
first?
then I'm gonna give her the key and say maybe you should do this one.
Okay. Okay. She kind of thank you, and like kind of kind of like lets her arms kind of fall back in front of her, and she takes the key one of her hands, and you can see like a grimace of pain as she raises her hand and takes the key to move in this direction, and she kind of goes, Mila, it's okay. And she begins to unlock the cuffs as you're making this conversation, Katya. So go ahead and roll just a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Another strong suit. As I fail it. Oh god!
Wow.
Okay,
You know, she's the-
guys do not like any of us tonight.
You know, I don't think we're ever going to convince this woman that we're not trying to hurt her.
Let Cardin try.
We can't make it any worse than natural one.
Cardin wants to be that serene older brother. That...
Well, hold on a second, Cardin. Oh Jesus. Okay.
I say something along the lines of, if we could just throw you over the edge right there, and I point behind me. If that's really what you want.
That's not helpful.
The elf kind of like places like a hand on kind of her shoulder and kind of just like you can watch her. You watch as the gnome flinches at the touch, but when she looks up and the elf, she kind of just shakes her head a little bit and just goes, "It'll be okay. It'll be fine." And then Cardin walks up. What are you doing, Cardin?
To be like the serene older brother. So like we'll get you out of this. You'll be fine. We're here to rescue you. Type of deal. I'm here for you.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Are you wanting to aid the elf, or are you wanting the elf to aid you?
I would like the elf to aid Cardin.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a straight persuasion check for me.
Oh my god!
Okay. Okay.
9.
Okay. She rolled high enough on her insight check now. Kind of like
good.
as you kind of are saying that's kind of standing behind we'll put it like this way. Kind of saying that to her and kind of giving that reassurance and nod and everything. The gnome kind of like leans into the elf and then just begins to ugly cry into like her shoulder. And you guys watch as she grips in onto the elf like very noticeably winces at the pain, but is trying to not
Weather through it.
yeah, trying to go force herself through it and being strong for this individual. As they're sitting there for a moment, those of you who would like to can make a medicine check.
Ah, yes. I was wondering about that, actually.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Hey, 26.
Jesus.
God dang.
Cardin is not medicine.
Okay. Okay. So Deenock and Valinar. Actually, Katya, this is what you gather. The elf might be able to travel. The gnome is in no shape for travel. Valinar and Deenock, you guys take a moment to kind of look them over, and you guys realize that the gnomes, both of her legs are broken. There seem to be multiple fractures in different parts of her body, and she is very malnourished, scarred in various places from various weapons you would imagine. And Valinar specifically, you would notice that the elf, her arms seem to be at the very least dislocated, if not broken in some places. So they are, while they might be able to travel, they are fairly unfit for it.
So, DM question.
Yeah.
Would I know if lesser restoration would heal them? Or any sort of healing thing
Okay.
that I might have?
Lesser
Maybe not like
restoration.
restoration.
Lesser restoration would not. Healing magic would help. But with broken bones and stuff like that, it would only really heal speed up the healing process. Like they would still be better. It'd be like it would be like having a broken bone but being so high on LSD that you don't feel it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So while it would help, there's a couple of problems. One, it wouldn't solve the issue of the broken bones completely, and you're out of spell slot. So
Well, yeah. I was asking in case we took a rest. We're rested here.
Let's see. Is she awake for this? As the gnome is beginning to kind of calm down, the elf turns and looks to. You know what? Actually, no. She would turn and look to Jaya because she kind of looks to Jaya and just goes, "That wasn't all of them. There's one more." And she looks directly at Jaya and goes, "It's Torben, sorry. Torben." And you watch as Jaya kind of just goes stiff.
Uh-oh.
And her
Yeah,
response with, "What do you mean it's Torben?" She kind of answers, "He only comes evening, at night. Imagine after he's done at town. He's the one that organizes everything."
Rituals for what?
Don't know.
For
Just Tor.
Why does that name sound familiar?
I don't know. Oh, I do know. You're probably thinking it's close to Torborn from
yeah.
what's the game
Overwatch.
called? Overwatch. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the dwarven individual. Torborn. This is Torben though. Slightly different.
Okay.
At least what I'm aware of. I don't think I'm using it from anything else.
That's probably the case because it's not in my notes. I've been trying to write down all the names. I think I missed a few, but
There's a lot of
Okay.
names.
Yeah,
That's why I like playing a barbarian.
Well, unfortunately, we are not in a position to fight. And if we wait here, we'll just be sitting ducks when he arrives.
Now, I will say it is early afternoon, so it's probably like 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock. It says that that Torben doesn't come to the campsite until after he's done with his day in town, and you're not sure when that is.
So what exactly does this Torben do? Who is he? What is... I'm talking to the elf.
Okay. The elf kind of like looks down, almost like in denial, and kind of holds the gnome in kind of a somber state. And Jaya speaks up and goes, "Torben is the town's religious leader, kind of the head of the church." And
I just laughingly scoff. Huh.
what religion is he from?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Or what religion is he in charge of? Geisma, Morton.
Primarily, at least the church that he primarily works in, is on. But he occasionally visits some of the other church. That's the primary church here is on for the nature. But there's small worships place that we use as well that he occasionally visits for Thala Tempest.
But what kind of holy man kidnaps innocent women, innocent young women, brings them out here, ties them up to stakes, and lets his men beat them? That doesn't make any sense.
You do hear kind of the crying of the gnome kind of increase a little bit at your wording. And Jaya kind of continues, I don't know. I mean, other than the fact that he's been a priest here for several years, the only other thing that we know about him is he was a former soldier years ago.
Would there be repercussions if we were to, as outsiders, if we were to slay said individual?
I don't know. Jaya says, because the whole situation is not something we're really accustomed to. He's
Denox scoffs at that and is like, "Well, you should be."
We've always had a tradition of worshipping on with fruits of our labor in order for a good harvest. For everything harvested, everything hunted, a portion of it was given back. Land to nourish the land itself and to put on and to ensure that the next time we hunt or gather, we have sufficient luck. And pleased by this.
It sounds to me like he's taking it a little too literally. Fruits of our labors, taking our children. What is he hoping for? To sacrifice somebody's daughter and get a bountiful
Population boon.
Yeah.
I can't imagine any deity being happy with that kind of a sacrifice.
Oh, maybe not a just and moral one, but if he was sacrificing to another god, one that is evil.
What if he wasn't sacrificing to a god?
Are you
You
implying
think
that this might just be some fetish?
No, I think he's implying demons.
There are those that make pacts with demons to get power. Maybe this
More or
was
less.
just a way to try and get one.
That stone. What? Did you take a look at it, Valinar?
The killing? Yeah. I'm not really sure what kind of a ritual it was, other than it was definitely a ritual.
And the rock was ordinary. It was just a large rock. You're not sure if
blood.
it was here originally or if it was dragged here.
Maybe instead of just slaying this random priest, I think we better investigate him a little bit further. Maybe we can find some dirt on him.
Well,
go ahead.
I would say that's a good idea, but looking to the gnome, I don't think she can move. Her legs look
What?
bad. And I'm talking real bad.
Oh, I didn't notice that before. I
I mean,
Yeah, you can
I-
clearly see
I-
how broken they are now.
Now I can see it. Now I can see it.
Dalinar, you're better at this than me. What?
would I know if it's safe to carry her?
Go ahead and make another medicine check, just to kind of attempt to see where the breaks and stuff end.
Oh no.
No.
Oh!
Nat 20.
And the other eye is a natural 1.
Natural
Fantastic.
20 and a natural 1. Heaven or hell, man. Let's rock. That's awesome. I love those rolls. But with a natural
Especially
20
whenever, it doesn't. It's not the
Not like combat.
disadvantage or advantage thing.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So it seems that where the breaks are, if she is carried gently, it would be possible. But she would at the very least need like splints and braces and stuff like that in order to even attempt such a travel. With somebody like Cardin carrying her. It's possible, but you would need to spend some time to fix up, like I said, braces, stuff like that would help keep the bones in place without them shifting too much while being.
Looking at
Nope.
Would I know enough about? Sorry.
One at a
Looking
time,
at-
guys.
looking at the elf, I asked her, were either of you taken into the hut here at any time?
Not to my knowledge, I wasn't.
Hut.
This thing.
Would
really
would I have enough knowledge of alchemy and herbalism to know if there's something I could provide that might help her at least take away the pain for now?
You're proficient in herbalism, correct?
I imagine so, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it says proficiency.
Yes, you would know of something. Now, whether or not you have it or it's located nearby is.
I can certainly look in my kit. Of course, I don't have any notes on what's actually in my kit, so.
I was not going to waste time and just start making splints.
Okay, so you're gonna. Start making some
I
splints.
suggest we move them into the hut here. At the very least, a little bit of
Okay.
shelter.
All right.
So I do know something I have in my herbalism kit for sure. As I'm
Gonna
digging
move
around
it.
in my pack, as I'm digging around in my pack, I find that vial of brown liquid that I never identified.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
And I say, well, this will either take her legs off, or it could cure her problem, or something in between.
Or it could make it worse.
I want to pour out just a little drop on my finger and see if anything happens.
Yeah, you pour a drop on your finger and it drops like a drop of water and it kind of stays there for a moment and slides off your.
So it's
seem to
not
have an
acid.
effect.
Okay, so I didn't lose my finger.
It is a potion. It
Hmm.
does need to. It does require to be drunk.
Well, yeah, but we didn't know it was a potion. We just knew it was some kind of.
Yeah,
liquid.
I knew it was some kind of liquid. I didn't know you had to drink it. I was like, maybe if I just apply it.
Oh no, that would have been explained. I'm sorry if I didn't. It is a potion. It's or at least it's
Okay.
meant to.
You've only ever said brown liquid.
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess I assumed you guys put it in a potion vial, assuming. That's my fault.
Yeah.
I mean, acid can be put in glass, so.
True.
Well, it didn't burn my finger off, so it's at least safe externally. But I'm going to take a chance. And I'm going to present this vial to her, and I'm going to say, I think this might be able to help you with the pain. Not 100% sure, but I leave it up to you whether you want to drink it or not.
I'm gonna say she doesn't.
When we got that, weren't we told it had something to do with the Earth? Or
Yeah.
I just imagined that.
No, you're right.
Okay.
So you're making.
I mean, I tried.
Go ahead and give me a survival check, Valinar.
Okay.
Jaya is
14.
Jaya, while you're doing this, is kind of gonna be like, regardless of when we get back, it'll probably be middle of the day, or kind of afternoon. Working comes here tonight and see all of this. Don't.
So our best bet is to wait here, ambush him, and capture him and interrogate him then.
Potential kind of here. You've kind of been in here for Valinar. You've managed to craft some crude splints. They'll work. For the purposes, kind of set them off to the side. At this point in time, the elf kind of steps over to you guys and is. She fell asleep. She's exhausted. Perhaps we can let her.
Valinar, what did you do with the shackles you pulled off of the elf lady? Forgot her name.
I just kind of let him drop.
I have an idea.
Oh boy.
Well, no. I'm not about to use it on anybody here, but if we're going to capture this guy and interrogate him, we kind of need him alive. We could probably knock him out, shackle him up to one of these posts. At least that way he won't get away.
Honestly, that's not a bad plan.
Although he is a spellcaster. He is a holy man. He might have spells.
Yeah, but how many spells can you cast when you can't move your hands?
Well, let's see.
You start counting.
Thaumaturgy, Fairy Fire, Healing Word.
Ironically,
So nothing-
he's counting on his
Healing.
fingers.
And
Yeah,
some others I don't remember off the top of my head.
So nothing that's really terribly dangerous. So
Especially if they're contained in that manacle.
exactly. So he'd only have
Alright,
to be able
so
to,
what about the
so he-
body?
the bodies.
Especially the
We
pile of burnt corpses out front. Oh boy, that's
Uh,
gonna be a bitch.
yeah,
We
that
can talk them over the edge, I guess.
it might take a while to drag them all this way. As for the ones that are already here, we could either move them into their huts or just, like you said, drop them over the cliff. Personally, I vote for that one. I never got to throw anybody over a cliff.
The elf kind of speaks up and it's like, that would be enjoyable. She kind of like sighs, but just to kind of, I don't know, help maybe. Torben tends to come. I don't. Let's see. Probably be close to what is roughly like sunset, typically.
Early or late sunset.
Varies from sometimes. I've only been here a couple of days myself, but it's varied. But he comes in and he always greets some of the men, particularly the kind of indicates to the two larger individuals that you guys had fought against. Also, I forgot to tell you, Cardin, when you were looting the bodies about weapons and stuff.
Mhm.
There was a great axe in the mix of weapons. Everything else was mostly scimitars and short bows.
Okay. I probably would have picked up the great axe in that case, too. Just because Cardin likes weapons.
All right, I'll go ahead and throw one on your character sheet.
Okay, thanks.
You have keen mind, right, Dina?
Yep.
I thought you were asking that to Cardin for a second. I was like, what?
Right.
Yes, Deanoch has keen mind.
Okay. You would know that roughly what she is talking about is somewhere in the neighborhood of it'd be between like 8 and 9 hours at the moment, which is about the bare minimum of a long rest.
So we can either rest, or we can prepare an ambush, but we can't do both.
Jaya's kind of like, yeah. Oh, by the way, who needs healing? I can do this a couple of times to people who haven't already been used. Unfortunately, I can't help you. And he points to you, Cardin, and you, Katya.
Yeah.
I could help you
Understood.
guys, and I could help.
Help these two, and I point to the elf and the gnome. We might as well get some rest while we wait.
Of course, I can use it on that. Does anybody else want to benefit from his healing?
I can rest during a short rest, but for the
I
time
mean, if you
being,
guys are gonna take a long rest, you'll heal up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I was wondering.
So we're just gonna leave the bodies there.
I mean, what are you gonna
I'm
do?
tapped for magic.
So am I.
True.
We should
My whole point
probably
is magic.
we should probably try to get a long rest then.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure your barbarian's out of rages too, which is not a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm out of rages and I have 3 hit points. So like, yeah, I'm looking rough.
Well, if we're going to rest, then we should take turns keeping a watch over by the front gate, so that when he does see the pile of corpses in front of his gate, he doesn't turn tail and run, and we miss him entirely. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think everybody was
just making sure I didn't get
thinking.
disconnected.
Yeah, I was at least thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, did I get disconnected? There's never this
And
silence.
considering
What's
I
going
think
on?
the smoke alarm's about to go off, you can tell how well that went.
I'm okay.
Kisses are yours. You could also try to make it your way back to town now and confront him in town if you so desired.
But hit points. And
And
rages.
But
I mean, you could take a short rest and then head out, but again, you know, resources.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you guys have two choices right now. You can either take a long rest and try to fight him, encounter him, trap him, whatever you want to do here at the camp, or take short rests and head back to town. Now, if you take a long rest, you would have all of your resources back, but you would be just the 4 of you.
On your own.
You head back to
Yeah.
town, you would have the support of town, whatever that may be, but you guys would be you guys wouldn't have your resources.
True. But
So ultimately, that is the decision.
But with Jaya as a trusted individual on our side, and these two lovely young ladies, as visual proof of what's been going on, his actions in the middle of town may very well determine what actually happens. You know, all we can do is confront him in the middle of everybody, and he'll either be on the down low and be like, "Hey, let's meet in private," or he'll be like, "Die!" and try to kill us all.
By the way, does that scream wake up the gnome?
I wasn't screaming it. I'm sorry.
No.
Definitely sound like a scream to me.
And the gnome Mila is actually very much asleep. It's very obvious that these girls are exhausted.
Mila is out cold.
Mila is out cold. Shafina is awake, but is definitely, you can definitely tell, hurt, sore, probably hungry, but does appear to be kind of ready to go if necessary.
Alright, tell you what, let's rest a little bit and then get these girls to town. I don't think either of them want to stay in this place, and I gestured,
Yeah.
everywhere around me. Any more than they would need to.
At least during this rest, we can have some time to think about what we're going to do when we get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone good with that?
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, I would like to at least take some rest after being within
back
inches
down.
of my life, being slapped around and chased by a crazy man with a I forget what weapon he was carrying. I was too busy being knocked out.
Great axe. Carden is now
And then-
carrying it.
And then we have a long walk ahead of us too.
As long as you don't get distracted by mirror images again, I think we should be fine on the walk.
Got something a little more important to focus on right now. I think I'll be fine. My curiosity is sated for the moment.
So if you guys are just taking a short rest, you guys can spend some hit dice and regain some hit.
Yay, HP.
Yay.
I need
don't know. I don't
think-
know how many you guys have left, so keep that in mind. However many you used previously has been deducted. They will not come back on a short rest. Also, for Dinok and
Nice.
Valoran, you guys also gain an additional 14 as Jaya comes around and uses his healer's kit on you guys.
I'll do one more.
Wait, who does?
That's
Jaya
max
uses his
heal.
healer kit on you and Dinok, Valinar,
Oh,
so you guys get 14 additional.
Yay.
Also, thank
Oh.
no.
Cool.
Oh no.
Doing
Ouch.
good with that. I'm close
That's
to max.
rough, dude.
By the way, I gain one spell slot, right? Or
No,
two.
you've already used that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you've already used that.
That's
Sorry.
a once a day thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. My bad.
No,
I'm out of short rest hit die now, but I am back up to like 32. So
Okay, I will
I'm
double
at
check that
max.
rule, but I'm pretty sure it's once a day. I'll double check just because I don't want to skip you.
Oh,
Yeah, I have
Okay.
absolutely no
Turtle back.
clue on mage characters, so
Once per day when you finish a short rest.
okay.
Just make
So does that mean like once in a 24-hour period, or does that mean like you had to take another long rest before you regain that ability?
long rest.
Gotcha.
And you don't have that ability,
No, I don't.
Katya.
I'm not a wizard.
Exactly.
You're not a wizard, Harry.
No, just sorcery points, and I don't get those back unless I have a long rest. Spell slots too.
All right. Well then, you guys managed to take a short rest. They have recuperated as much as they can in this time period, and you guys, yes.
During the short rest, I wanted to take a look at that old longsword I found.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I
since
think-
we're
Special about it, or
There doesn't seem to be anything special about it per se. Go ahead and make a history.
oh boy. Oh, I'm actually proficient in history.
Yeah, I think everybody
no.
but Cardin. I
Better
think
than that
everybody
one.
but Cardin is proficient in history.
I know nothing about this thing.
Hey, where'd you get that sword from?
Oh, I found it.
Yeah, you don't know nothing.
Okay, now I can do a history check. 23. Maybe I know something about it.
Enoch, would you want to roll this as well?
I
Actually-
mean, since we're all jumping on the bandwagon,
Actually, Enoch, you have advantage. Just think it doesn't
doesn't matter.
matter. Okay. Cardin, do you want to roll for the lulls?
Yes.
Watching it
Cardin
from that
wants to
point,
know.
Because once you pull out the sword, now everyone's like, hey, I recognize this, maybe.
Okay,
7.
7. Katya and Denoc, we'll do you first real quick. The design of that hilt and sheath that you're currently looking at, it looks familiar in a way.
okay,
It
especially with
looks
my keen mind kicking in.
It looks very similar to the craftsmanship of the blade that you saw in town, Hell's Gate.
Oh,
Looks
shit.
Similar to it. Katya, the blade and craftsmanship, it looks to be a very old sword from a text that you're
Mhm.
paired with the demon.
Wait,
Uh,
it was a pair of swords now.
No. Sword that
No.
is paired with it. Partner.
Yeah. That's what I meant. So Hell's
It
Gate
wasn't
also.
a
Huh?
pair of swords. It was
No, what he's saying is that Hell's Gate and this sword were the pair of swords.
they're not a pair. They're partners. And I'm gonna clarify. So
Okay.
there's Hell's Gate and the Demon Slayer. They're two different individuals wielding their respective blades. This blade
Oh, okay.
appears to be the one that was the equivalent of what the Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, usually we talk about the wielders themselves being partnered rather than the swords being partnered.
Right.
Okay.
So essentially the two different owners, or two different people. One wielded Hell's Gate and one wields the Demon Slayer. These two individuals were partners during the Ancient Demon War.
Oh. So
And
is there any way to see?
Go ahead.
How would I check to see if this is authentic or if it's like a replica? Take it to a blacksmith.
Yeah, you would have to have some blacksmith or even somebody, even like a librarian, maybe. People who
Okay.
have like authentic documentations and accurate of what the blades looked like from back then.
All right. I'm gonna relay this information to Valinar, and I would highly suggest that we hold
And
on to
Dean-
this because
And Denoc, you know most of this as well, because you both really really high.
Mm-hmm.
so I relay this information, and I give the suggestion that we should hold on to it because it could be a long lost relic.
And here I thought this was just a terrible sword.
It has no magical properties that you're aware of.
But in the right hands, it may. Who knows? That information is lost to history.
Try
Donna,
giving it to Carbon.
Wait,
All right.
why are you giving it? Don't give it to Cardin.
I'm not giving it. I said Donna's.
Okay. Okay. I was about to say it. So if you give that to Cardin, he might shatter it.
All right. So do you guys finish your rest and pack up and begin back to town?
During the short rest, I am going to see if I can memorize and then maybe see if I have any recollection or knowledge of whatever these symbols are.
Go ahead and roll a religion check. Way better than what.
What'd you roll? 14, dude?
Something like that.
For what? For what roll?
Your religion on the rock.
Oh yeah, I rolled low. Low was all crap. Yeah, 14.
Me find. Oh look, there it is. You're unable to make out any of the iconic kind of like anything. Nothing really stands out at first, but as you go over it again, there's actually a name inscribed in blood.
Oh.
And it seems to have been layered over and over again with different layers of blood. You assume just from somebody writing it over and over again. What languages do
All of them.
I wish. Common, Celestial, Draconic, Infernal.
Close enough.
Unfortunately, you don't recognize the language.
Yeah, but I am memorizing it, so...
Mhm. Yep. You are memorizing the way that it's written, so that you can show others. Go ahead and write down. Just put demonic name ?
Mm-hmm.
Because it isn't. It's the from what you can tell, the inscriptions is similar to Infernal but different. And it doesn't come out to a translation that makes sense.
Right.
So at least not to your knowledge.
But I definitely memorize what looks to be a name ?
Yep, and you're welcome to show it to everyone else if you want. If you do, I'll have everybody tell me what languages they speak.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey guys, I think I might be onto something here, but it's definitely not something I know. See if any of you guys can read this word. Just don't say it out loud. Just do not say it out loud. I don't know if that'll summon this entity.
Alright.
That would be bad right now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so what languages do you guys know? I'm just gonna go around the table here. So, Kadia, what languages do you know?
Let's see. I've got Common, Elvish, Sylvan, Draconic, and Halfling.
Okay. It is not a language you recognize.
Gotcha.
Dalinar?
I know Common, Ori, Elven, Gnomish, and Dwarven.
It is not a language you recognize. Cardin?
Yeah, no.
I know Common.
Can you read? That's a better question.
Yes, I can read.
Okay.
We've already made that. We've already made that canon. I thought
Sure.
I can read. I know Common, Abyssal, Corey, and Celestial.
You can read this name.
Holy
The one person that can read it is
It is
Cardin.
written. It is written in Abyssal. And
Great.
the name is Tenebris.
Tenebrous.
Tenebrous.
Okay.
Okay, so first off, like I said, Cardin, we asked you not to say the name,
Mm-hmm.
but do you?
This calls for this.
Yup.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
He does not say the name.
I
Yes.
give him, a piece of charcoal and ask him to write it in common.
And
Can Cardin write? That we have not made canon yet.
well, I mean, to be fair, he can read.
That doesn't mean you can write.
That's part of literacy.
What
What?
school did
You know
you
what?
go to? What school
You know
did
what?
you go to?
You know what? Let's see.
Ow. Oof.
Oof.
He can write not very well.
He writes like I write in real life.
Okay, I need an example.
I'm sorry, is that chicken scratch?
It looks
Basically,
like a
yeah.
it looks like a doctor's signature.
Oh God.
Is that a
Oh,
word?
no.
I think we would have been better off trying to read the whatever language that was.
All right. By saying the letters in common.
I will say the letters very slowly in common.
Okay, I will type them out in chat then, just for the fun of it then. So these are the letters he says.
T
E
E
N
N E
O
B R I S.
What does that spell?
Nice try. Don't.
Well, I should know not to mess around with. Oh no!
Oh no.
I should know. I should know better than to play around with things I don't understand. That's how I got in this mess in the first place.
Well, you did say what is that spell? Cardin then on reflex says Tenebris.
And you just hear this
Hey, Cardin.
loud math.
Cardin,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll me a D100.
Oh, no.
no!
Shoot.
Hopefully he said it in English, in common, and not in abyssal.
42.
42. Nothing seems to happen.
I did not say it in abyssal.
That would have just made things worse.
Nothing seems to happen.
That we know of.
That you're aware of.
No changes in magic, no
Go ahead and make an Arcana
cloud
check.
swirling overhead.
Now watch this. Now we're gonna try and leave the woods, and somehow the whole forest will have shifted, and it'd be your fault, card.
By the way,
You're the one who
Cardin,
asked
how
what
close
is
are
the
you-
spell.
Carlin, how close are you to me?
To you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably in the middle. If I'm if I'm trying to read the inscription, I'd probably be really close to Valley.
Here comes the mage hand. Oh,
No. I reach over to try and smack you. Fail hard.
You like reach out and like smack his chest, and like as you turn away, you're like, "Ow."
Well, I mean, considering I was aiming for the head and I hit his chest, yeah.
I mean, he's shorter than you, so say yeah, you could have hit him in the back of the head and then been like, "Ow."
Been like a Gibbs. Done
You,
like a
smack
Gibbs
the
thing,
back of
but
his
then
head
Gibbs recoils.
okay. So now we have this name, but
Does it
who
sound
is this
familiar?
exactly?
My guess, some kind of demonic commander. I shrug.
Is this something you can roll a history check on, DM?
Religion or
I would say you can do religion or history, but for you guys at disadvantage, just because of time period.
Here we go.
13.
11.
Arden, you would not have to roll at disadvantage.
For history?
Or religion.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Either way, it's
the
not the
highest.
same roll, so...
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we have
You double roll.
11 for Katya, 13 for Dean, 8 for Valinar, 16 for Cardin. Okay, that makes a little bit of sense. Cardin, after saying the name Tenebris, remember some of the stories that your parents used to tell around the fire. Almost like ghost stories, but yet you knew they were too realistic to be made up. The name Tenebris comes up a couple of times during some of these stories. Tenebris is described as one of the lead demon generals to the demon lord Orcus. And Tenebris is believed to be the demon leading and controlling the raids on the material plane. That's what you know with the 6.
I sort of be like, huh.
You know the
And
name?
then I go ahead and reiterate what I know to them. Tenebris is,
Oh, he said it again.
he's basically the general or the commander of some of the demon raids on the material plane, or on our plane of existence. He's a really high-ranking demon.
Well, that's not good.
By the way, I do want to. Did you say the name or did you abbreviate?
I totally said the name.
Okay.
Oh, I was just fucking with you guys earlier. Nothing happened.
I was like, he's gonna make us roll that D100 again, aren't we?
I thought about it, but
Well-
I'm like, nah, that'll get old pretty quick.
78.
It has no point, honestly, because nothing happens.
Yeah, but technically,
We don't know that.
I
exactly.
mean, yeah, you guys are just role playing out at this point that he said it, and then now every time he says it, you guys like flinch and cringing, checking
Like
out
Voldemort.
around you. Also, I know, Denock, I know you.
But
said
what
something
if we like
asking
say his
about-
name 3 times in
I
a
can't
row?
hear. I can't hear. Rip.
I heard what you. I stopped. I heard you say something about checking, like is magic still around us.
Mm-hmm.
Want to? You can roll an Arcana check.
Ooh. Nice roll.
Or, far as you can tell, things seems to be normal.
Except for me.
Well, you weren't normal to begin with.
Yeah. My weave's all tangled.
But let's be honest, nobody in this party is normal.
Fair. So apparently, from what I can sense of the surroundings, saying the name doesn't seem to do anything. Let's not tempt fate there, and use it sparingly.
Understood. We shall refer to him as that one general dude.
Tenny.
I was going to say
Or-
Briss, but
Past tense.
As long as we know who we're referring to, I think it should be fine, whatever we call him.
Right.
Finna be.
10 bitch.
That might be a bit crass for my taste. But if you want to call him that, fine. Go ahead.
I mean, imagine calling him that to his face.
Oh, I dare you to do that.
Let's do it.
Actually,
Go
Garden
fight
should do that. Garden?
Get a bitch to his face.
Suddenly, a bolt of lightning. I'm kidding.
Well, that was an only effect.
All right.
Oh no!
One!
Well then, that's a game changer. No. All right. So you guys gather up your material probably by this point and begin to travel back
Yeah.
towards town.
Yeah,
Who is
How are we-
carrying...
Mila. How are we gonna move her?
Somebody needs to carry her. That was going to be. Oh, that's another thing. Balinar, roll a medicine check to apply the splint.
Okay.
Oh no.
Like it's gonna end badly. 13.
Well, actually, it's actually going to be 22 because
Oh.
Jaya.
yeah, Shafina will actually assist the best that she can.
Oh, cool. So 22.
So, you apply the splints, and then who is going to carry her?
Karin will.
Not me.
Karin will carry.
Definitely not me.
Arden's going to carry her back.
Yeah, he's beefy boy. That's sort of what he does.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
As you
Let's hope it
kind
was
of,
an extremely low DC.
as you go to kind of pick her up, you feel her tense and like
Careful, careful.
trying to cry, like trying to stifle a cry out in pain, essentially. As you kind of pick her up and readjust a little bit and make it so that it's less painful for her. Eventually kind of get her kind of that fireman style where you got her carrying her kind of fireman style-ish. And you guys begin to head back to town. Gaia leading the way. Yeah, and yeah, I think Shafina would probably tractor outside my window.
I don't hear it.
Sorry, it's 10:30 at night, so I don't know why there's a tractor outside. If there was a tractor, but
Probably
Think about where you live.
Yeah.
He's in
I'm
a
in
housing
I'm
development.
in a housing edition.
I mean, to be fair, it's still Indiana.
Anyway,
Eh.
you guys begin heading back towards the city, being led by
And I want to be.
Jaya.
I
Sorry?
want to say, I want. Enoch suggests to everyone besides Carden, keep a very watchful eye out. We do not want to be surprised on the way back.
Gotcha.
And I actually have everybody go ahead and roll perception check. Everybody except for Carden.
I did not take that advice to heart.
Hey. 7.
I mean, okay, since we're all trying to help, keep an eye out. Carden, you don't do it because you're carrying her. Can we say advantage?
Well, everybody's already rolled, and so I also rolled for Jaya and Shafina. So we will see what happens with that after a short break.
Oh no.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We're gonna go ahead and just take a short break here, guys. Just to kind of, this is about the halfway point or so. So we'll see what happens. We come back. Bear with us through the break.
Because we have bears.
All right, and are back. Find out what happens to our party. So
A grand old adventuring party.
Yep. So sorry that took the break was a little longer than we wanted it to be. Roll20 decided to get rid of my stuff, and so I had to re-find it all and throw it back onto Roll20 in case, because I have a feeling that this is not going to end well.
Great.
So, with that, I would like. Okay, so you guys made perception check. Okay. You guys, other than the local wildlife and the occasional weird mirror image of yourselves and the animals, it seems out of the ordinary.
Especially not that weird black shadow that keeps flitting across.
What?
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 He's adding to it.
Oh, okay. So we don't see any reflections?
I mean, we did say to bury a bitch.
You do see yourselves as you're walking. However, this time you guys actually see yourselves across the river, which would be to your left.
I am not going over there.
Let's not deal with that right now.
Nah.
Yeah, we have very important cargo to escort, so
I would like to have Arden roll me a Constitution.
Because carrying.
Yeah.
just-
okay.
He's carrying
What?
an individual. It's not a very hard DC because
Ah.
of who you are, but
Mhm.
just because natural ones exist.
I think a 15 will pass, or a 17 will pass.
17, you're fine. It's kind of, carrying anybody of any weight for an extended period of time can get tiresome, but you're doing just fine.
Would a 1 have been, I throw her on the ground?
Not one drinking water.
It would have depended on severity.
Who can say they've watched that video? And
Anyway, eventually you guys begin to make it back to town.
I am the town.
And
Okay.
you can see
You keep telling yourself that.
as you guys begin to arrive in town, you begin to see both the girls, both Mila and Shafina, begin looking around nervous.
Getting Jaya's attention, I ask him, are there any less obvious entrances?
Just from what you know of the town, it's a fairly open city where people kind of just walk about without much kind of going on. No, like, way really to enter the there's always eyes somewhere. It's not that you couldn't try to hide your presence.
Plus, I mean, I'm sure we stick out like sore thumbs out here.
Yeah, but what's... Does anyone have something we can cover them in?
Nope.
I got a bedroll. Would that work?
I mean, kind of.
Yeah, we're just carrying our bedrolls through town. No big deal. Yeah. Let me just
I'd
pull that
rather-
from my pack here.
I'd rather us carry something rather than have to... I look at both girls and, like, gesture to them. Obviously, wounded individuals. That's gonna run rumors. If we're just carrying something,
Okay, so
less conspicuous.
you can fairly easily cover Mila in a essentially your sleeping bag. What are you gonna do for?
Do we have a bag of holding?
No.
That's a no.
You do not have a
Does
bag
anyone
of
have a
holding.
cloak?
Brown will take off his cloak.
Oh my.
So you take off your cloak and kind of drape it around Shafina and have her pull the hood up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
It looks a little less suspicious.
I would like Cardin to roll a performance check.
To wrap her up, oh no.
No. This is to pretend like he's carrying a sleeping bag and not an injured individual while still not hurting the injured individual.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Okay.
6.
And Shafina did not roll great on stealth, but where are you guys attempting to take her?
I assumed we were just going back towards the council. Unless
To the
anyone
church. I mean, what?
else.
I heard two different
Probably not
answers there. Which one?
To the council.
Council. Are you guys trying to take the correct path, or are you guys trying to be
Less obvious.
Less obvious,
So probably
definitely.
the longer. A group stealth check.
Okay.
How does that work?
So what it is everybody rolls a stealth check, and you
Okay.
guys need more passes than you do failures.
I apologize in advance. That's a 4.
8.
Please tell me the DC was 5. Please tell me the DC was 5.
Hold on.
Actually, we're probably trying a little too hard to be stealthy. We're drawing attention to ourselves by doing that.
Potentially. I gotta find the DC. Okay.
Oh boy.
Guys begin to make your way to where the Elderman passed. You guys do notice that there are quite a few heads kind of turning, and some people are whispering,
Much
kind of
tension.
indicating towards your group. Not sure what that means. Essentially,
Insight?
I mean, sure. Kind of just us pointing at the strange group.
I have no idea.
Yeah, they're kind of just pointing out the fact that you guys are a strange lot traveling together.
Makes sense.
Eventually, you guys find your way to the Alderman Road, and the front is the Elderman.
Yes, immediately.
And she down at.
It's urgent, and I actually check, make sure no one's around, and if no one is, I have Shafina lift her hood just to show the receptionist.
Okay. She kind of looks, and as you guys kind of like make sure, go ahead and make a perception check. Kind of look, and nobody seems to be paying attention to you guys. There's nobody else in this like front room. But there are people kind of walking by outside. They may be able to see in through the windows, but it doesn't appear that anybody is paying close attention to you.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have her kind of like, peek the hood, and she kind of goes, Shafina, to peek the hood, and you have watches the. Right. They actually are not busy at the moment, so I will see you guys in.
Very convenient.
You have no idea how lucky I rolled.
Did you roll a natural 20?
No, it doesn't matter. I basically went like, let's see. I basically said like, if it's high, they're gonna kind of be busy. If it's low, they're not. I rolled a 10, which is straight down the middle, and I'm like, that doesn't help. Not at all. So I rolled again, keeping the same numbers, and I got a 9. So it's like, all right, fine. You too, dice. And so they so she leads you inside, kind of to the back room where the Eldermen are. You guys kind of step in, and you see Noric, Keljan, and Varin standing there, and you watch as Varin kind of, oh, you've returned already? And she kind of like stops when he sees Shafina kind of walk in, and just like, Shafina, and he's like flabbergasted for a moment. And like, what? And like, and at this point, Cardin, you walk in with a sleeping bag, effectively. And he kind of looks at you and kind of goes, and who is this, pray tell? You guys step in, close the door. Guys watch, and you guys have Cardin remove. Well, somebody would remove it from Cardin's arms because he couldn't do it himself. And you watch as Helgen like stands up out of his, slams his hands on the tables and just like, Mela! And you can see this like bewilderment in his eyes. Kind of like turns and like looks at him and then looks away, kind of defeated. He's like standing kind of still and just bar and kind of like, please, come sit. Tell us what has happened, and kind of guides Helgen back to the.
Well, we basically almost got lost in the reflecting woods.
I
And
may or
I
may not have
pointedly
something to
look
do
at
with that.
Katya.
I may or may not have had something to do with that.
You watch as Varen kind of looks to Jaya, and he goes, "I tried."
When this one wants to get lost, he'll get lost. And I kind of, give a pointed look to Katya.
Hey, you can't get more lost than being in a totally different land than where you're from.
And then you thought that this wasn't the real world and that the mirror image was.
You never know.
Well,
And I
that
just
is-
kind of
Either way,
point
we
my
survived.
hand at Katya. This is what I have to deal with.
Hey,
kind of like,
did we die? No, we didn't die. We're still alive. We had a successful mission, for the most part.
speaking of which,
really
what
good.
happened?
We got to the wall of the camp. We killed the bandits outside. We got the attention of a few more. Killed them. Went in. Killed the 2 captains who also had a giant dog. Does anyone know what the dog was? I never took a look.
Oh, it was a demon dog with 2 heads.
Name, please. Anyone remember the
Name?
name?
Is that a name?
I didn't know it had a
Species
name.
Species name.
Oh, I
Dingo.
didn't look at it.
Did the dog
Dingo.
have a name?
Dingo. His
No.
dog's name was Dingo.
And Dingo was his name. Oh,
Pretty
and
sure
it
the
was
name-
the-
No, technically the dog had a name. It was Fluffy.
Hey,
What-
Asking
oh,
for the
yeah.
But
dog.
what Denock is asking is whether or not anybody got the species of the death dog.
Oh, Death Dog. That's right. That's what it's called. I called it a demon dog. Did I write demon dog? Hang on.
You might have, because of the way that they originate. Also,
Yeah.
I
I
I
bet Death
homebrew
Dog.
everything. So if anybody has a problem with where my death dogs come from, well, man.
Eat it. Eat it.
So
Ow. So, okay, it's a death dog.
Thank you, Death Dog. Yeah, they had a Death Dog for a pet. I think its name is Fluffy.
Aw.
And it turns out that one of your religious leaders are behind all of this.
what? You mean? Wait, religious leaders?
Um,
Do you mean?
yeah, you missed a detail there. They were performing some kind of ritual sacrifice of young women at that camp. Some careful inspection led us to a name, though I'm not sure I should speak it out loud.
Nothing
it
happened
starts
when
with-
Pardon did.
It starts with 10 and ends with Briss. Katya looks around, makes sure nothing happens.
Make a perception check.
Uh-oh. Perception. Lots of P's in here.
Um,
Perception. Well, now I get a nat 20 on perception. Go figure.
I'll circle back around to that in just one moment.
Uh-oh.
But no, there's a couple of details that I want to hit on.
Okay.
So, when you mentioned that there had been sacrifices of young women in order to in this like effort, you kind of watch as both Varen and Keljan like white knuckle grip the edge of their chair. And you also kind of see like Norik as he kind of acknowledges that as well. In terms of your perception check, nothing seems different.
Okay. To continue, these are just the two girls that we managed to rescue. There was a third one that was already, presumably, dead, already sacrificed on some kind of stone. Fair-skinned, blonde, looked about 20-ish. But that probably describes a lot of women.
Yeah.
Question: what race was the woman?
Human.
Didn't you human?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
You watch as Shafina kind of leans forward, and it was Hetan. And then he kind of gives us a slight bow, and he kind of just goes, and he kind of like slumps back into his chair and just goes, well, at least parents will finally have peace.
Justice and freedom.
What?
Right.
You said a religious leader was involved in this. Who? Whom or whom?
What was his name?
Torben? Torben.
Yeah.
That's the name that Shafina gave, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Torben.
It was Torben.
Torben of. And you watch now as Norik kind of goes, I knew we shouldn't have put him there. You watch as like Keljan kind of like slowly turns and looks towards the turtle. Norik is already looking back. Goes, what? I disagreed with making him a religious man years ago. Kind of like.
And one more thing, and I don't know if it's pertinent to currently what's going on. I don't know if there's a connection, but we did find either a replica or the original, the sword that belonged to the Demon Slayer during the Demon Wars.
Oh, yeah, Valna then pulls it out.
Yeah.
Pulls it out and they like look at it and they're alrighty. They all kind of look at it and kind of like, very nice. It's a very nice blade, but perhaps have Notare Steel Fairy take a look at it.
Steel Fairy, you say?
Mm-hmm. The blacksmith. She's the local expert, and honestly, if it has anything to do with a war of something from a war of that age, her and her family are probably some of the best people to ask about it. At least in terms of craftsmanship and blades.
I will keep that in mind.
What you guys like to do? Because they
I'm gonna wait and see what they say.
Yeah.
Okay. So they kind of take a
What
moment.
do you?
Well, you took the blade. You took the blade back, and now they have a moment to kind of think. Of just like, Rafina, Mela, are you confirm and corroborate their story about Torben being a individual who is sacrificing young women? Kind of watch as Mela actually steps up first. Kind of, that monster broke both of my legs. Hey, you can see we're starting to get worked up. Kind of watches Keldrin just, don't push yourself, dear. Relax. Kind of turns and plants her face and hardens chest a little.
Aw.
Aw.
Carden does that little head pat thing.
With what free hand?
Fair. He does it like
With his
he
chin?
goes to do it, and then he realizes that like his hands are not free.
And Shafina goes, on my life, I would vouch for it. Monster came and yeah, she kind of like looks. Yes, vouch for this. Watch at Aaron and we go and we arrest him. And as they're like saying arrest him, Norik kind of just goes, off with his head. No, arrest him.
I like this Norik.
I sort of nod towards him, being to be like, okay.
Guy,
I really don't know much about arresting.
Denox speaks up and says, I would say that you go with full intent for a fight. I do not believe he would go willingly or quietly.
well, we shall find out. I would like to ask you guys to accompany us. And he kind of summons the receptionist, which you now catch her name. Oh, excuse me. Victoria kind of comes in.
She
Yes?
must have a big secret. Sorry.
Katya, you take 10 points of psychic damage for poor jokes.
That's what, his third tonight?
I'm kidding.
Is
You're
that okay? Okay, because that's like half my health.
I'm joking. I just
Rookie.
Okay.
so she kind of goes and so she brings Victoria in and he kind of goes, two things. One, send a note for the guards, as many as it can gather, and also get somebody here from the temple to look after Mela and Shafina. Yes, right away, Varen. Kind of steps out and very quickly writes a note and hands it off to effectively what is like a messenger boy.
Before she hands it off, I do say, you sure you want to trust the temple? If one is corrupt, who knows how many are under his thumb?
I mean, do you have a better idea for gathering a healer? Watch after individuals who hurt and no one is.
Isn't there some
don't
sort
know
of?
the rest of them?
I mean, why does the healing have to come from the temple? Isn't there some sort of I guess, like a, what do you call that?
Apothecary?
Apothecary, yeah. Apothecary or maybe an alchemist that could essentially do the same things without the need for gods.
Yes, but not as quickly on a scale that would be done. Kind of like looks over at Mela, kind of turns and whispers closer to you guys. Because I'm assuming at this point, you guys have sat Mela down, kind of in a place for her to kind of rest and stay safe.
Is there a
because you don't
couch
want to take her
nearby?
with you. Yeah, I'd say there's like seats and stuff for her to sit and rest on within the office itself here. He kind of like whispers to you guys and goes, "Her legs are very badly broken. Their apothecary will not be able to do much but soothe the pain. We need to get somebody here that can set the bone and begin the healing process so that it's healed correctly. Short of a cleric, I don't know of anybody that could do something like that in a time period that is necessary."
Then I would suggest you have some.
Lyric.
I'm God. Don't look at me.
There's just now a hand covering Cardin's mouth. I would suggest a trusted guard, or maybe more than just one, until we can be sure that everyone from the temple is
Pure?
not
Innocent?
not under his control.
That works.
You guys kind of notice now that as Keljan, who was over with Mela for a moment and kind of just talking and kind of, doing like that comforting patting of the hand kind of a thing, and he kind of stands and kind of goes, "I sent for my brother. There's," kind of turns back to Garden. "There's no one we can trust more than him." Garden kind of nods. "Do it. Victoria, see that it's done." They begin to head towards the front door. As they get to the front door, there is a group of probably 5 armored individuals. Not necessarily like like plate armor and shield, sword, that kind of a thing, but like mostly probably leather armaments with the occasional spear and sword, or with shield and sword, spear on some of them.
Question to the group: how are you guys looking? Because I do want to ask.
Beautiful as always.
I'm looking better.
Do I need to roll psychic damage for you again?
I actually mean it this time.
Maybe.
I'm at full health and I still have some spell slots.
I'm not. I'm just under full, and I have no spell slot.
I'm like 18 under full-ish, roughly 17 under full.
So, putting into game words, Katya has a little bit of juice left, but is pretty tuckered. Valinar is...
Oh, I'm juicy.
Valinar is pretty drained, but has a mace. Cardin, on the other hand, is hurt, but still serviceable.
He's Cardin.
I turn to whichever of the counselors is nearest and say, by the way, before we go off, I'm nearly completely out of magic. Yeah. How about you guys? How are you guys on?
Well, the closest...
I want the group to say to the council.
The closest elderman would actually be Norik, and as you begin speaking, he kind of goes, "Huh? Magic? I had magic once. I guess I sure would have it, huh? Blimey. like begins walking after the others a little bit fast.
Yeah, so skip him.
Kelvin and Varan kind of go, not necessarily as trained in magic myself.
Well, no, I was saying,
Oh,
I was
go ahead.
telling my group to tell the council.
Oh.
Oh, how they're looking and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't think our group has actually said how we are for magic to each other as the characters. We've said above game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Let's just say there was a lot of fighting going on in those woods, and I don't know about my companions here, but I'm about half spent on my capabilities right now.
I'm completely spent. I mean, I have a mace, but that's about it.
I can no longer use my feelings to empower my attacks.
He's all angered out. His rage meter is empty.
He is
And this is-
emotionally drained.
And this is the point where Carbon's like, a druid would be handy right now.
So, while we won't be able to lay waste to anyone with great magics, I at least, and I just produced my firebolt, I can at least throw this. That's
Kind of.
about it.
Varan kind of turns and goes, and you notice as he's actually strapping a long sword to his waist, and kind of goes, appreciated. Hopefully it won't be necessary. Hopefully, just surrender. He is an experienced fighter, so if he does fight, I would encourage those of you who can help to help, but those of you who can't, try to get citizens to safety and out of the way of being casualties.
Also, do you have a
Perhaps-
spare health potion for Cardin?
Fortunately, I do not have one. The apothecary may.
And we're not
Perhaps-
casting that on the
Hmm.
way.
No, we should go immediately. Cardin is again rearing for a fight, but at the same time, he's like, oh, let's just get this over with.
I think perhaps if we present ourselves in a manner in which we look like we're still, fully capable and very experienced fighters, and maybe we can intimidate him into just surrendering when he thinks he's outnumbered.
Or we could still pretend that we are his friends.
With armored guards, yeah, sure.
Well, we can have the guards outside. And then give a signal if he becomes uncooperative.
And
No,
you're
if-
willing to take a mace to the face to back that up?
No offense, Varan kind of speaks. This is kind of our town. We will take point on the arresting. We hope that you guys are willing to back us up if necessary. But
That sounds good.
as it is our duty to protect the civilians within our walls, you get a slight smirk from Norik from that, as you guys remember the walls are based around the city. And you can watch a twang in his eyes as he gives Norik like a sharp look, and he just goes, "Well, we would very much like to avoid conflict if necessary, possible." And and then the three eldermen begin actually.
I follow.
You guys follow.
Oh, well, let's go.
On our way out, just because I know that I've never seen like Deanoch use a weapon, I would like, here, have this staff in case you get into close quarters, just temporarily while we're here. I hand him over my hardened quarterstaff for the time being.
Okay.
You hand him your quarterstaff.
Yeah, I hand him my hardened quarterstaff for the time being.
Okay.
I think I've got.
So I think a wizard should be able to use a staff.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
they
quarterstaff.
can.
Are you getting that?
Yeah, because it's a hardened quarterstaff. It's not.
Those are the stats you gave it.
Sure. I'm pretty sure that's just a normal quarterstaff.
Yeah, Jacob said that was. But...
Yeah, I can pull a. Oh, I think I remember. Alright, so, guys, again, walking, follow them pretty much into the middle of town because
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Gonna end real well.
A lot of fresh targets for the guy to go for. We're gonna have ourselves a hostage situation.
there's a reason.
For a second, I was just like, wait, I'm not the necromancer. Because I was thinking, oh, all the fresh bodies for me to use.
Unfortunately, I don't have those kind of spells yet.
Yeah, I know.
The temple must be that round thing in the middle there.
So, this is the temple.
Oh, okay.
This is a forge. Temple,
Oh,
forge. Everything else
forge,
Temple.
temple.
everything else is a building or a person.
Where's the council hall?
Off map.
Oh,
Gotcha. You know, I feel like these buildings are watching us.
Alright, so the quarterstaff is just a regular quarter. For whatever reason, it's not in the compendium. So, if you want to roll it, I'll just tell you what it is.
I'm
Found
actually
it.
not gonna.
Search staff and you'll come up.
It didn't on mine. That's quarter.
Really?
Maybe you spelled quarter wrong.
Possible. Just search staff. It's the first one.
Good stuff.
Okay. Anyway,
Yay.
I'm actually gonna hold my light crossbow.
okay. As you guys kind of step out,
I'm not in front.
oh, yeah, I just threw you guys on the map. I didn't know where you.
Carden, step forward.
Cardin is in the front,
There we go.
as normal.
More like kind of here.
You guys are
there. There we go.
Perfect.
all right.
No, Cardin's actually, like, there.
You kind of
Back to the forge.
watch as these as the people around you are like literally following.
5 guards.
Why are all these people following us?
Those are the guards.
Oh! That's
Kind of.
a lot more guards than I thought.
And this is a little bit different to scale. So basically, every square is 10 feet. I did not.
There we go.
So, and you guys kind of step out, and you guys now watch as Varin, who's the most outspoken and loudest, kind of looks around, and you guys do not see, although you guys have no idea, does not see Torben. Kind of walks over, pounds on the door, just Torben, open up. Pounds again. Torben, yelling.
What time is it?
It's probably 4:30 or so. Maybe 5, maybe a little bit later.
No.
Eventually the door actually open, and you guys see a young kid, maybe 19, human, male, brown hair, kind of goes, can I help you? Baron kind of looks down and goes, where's Torben? He's not here. He left half an hour ago or so. Just
No.
Basically said that he'd be back in a while. He had to go take care of something.
I bet.
I don't know where he went. Kind of, he watches. Varin is kind of. Where's his room? Torben actually had a house. Lived at. He didn't live here in the. Where's his house? Northish, kind of on the edge of town. Varin kind of goes to hurry, and he begins not sprinting, but like power walking towards towards house. At least to the best of your knowledge.
I follow.
All of that. Yeah. Okay. In 1 second. Okay. All right. You guys begin booking it pretty much across town and into kind of northward, and after traveling for a period of time, maybe 5 minutes, you guys begin approaching a small homestead, kind of disheveled, not necessarily really upkept. It looks like a fairly cheap home, and the front door is open wide, or standing wide open. And Varin begins to slow down, and he just goes, "Guards, check it out." And the guards leave you guys and begin to enter the house.
Question.
I
Can
smell
I
a trap.
hold the crossbow in one hand and a firebolt in the other?
What crossbow is
Light.
a light crossbow? I don't believe so. Double check the rules.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a specific crossbow
Hand
that you
crossbow?
have. Yeah, one. Light crossbow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 2.
Okay.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to tell you incorrectly.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it is 2. A few minutes pass, and Varn is kind of getting impatient. He actually kind of begins to step forward, and about that time, and then one of the guards steps out of the house and kind of just looks at Varn and just. Who here speaks Elvish?
I think I do. Double check.
I do.
Like at least 2 of you do.
I speak it.
And
I do not speak it.
you guys basically
But I speak
hear,
Abyssal.
right? You guys basically hear him swearing in Elvish.
Oh, that's great.
Here's he's in the wind.
Of course.
Yeah, because as soon as he gets back to his camp, he's gonna see everybody slain. And he's gonna take off. There's no way he's coming back.
Question.
Hmm?
Are there any other bandits in the area?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, there goes that. I was hoping that the way we left it, it would seem like it was raided by another group of bandits.
Yeah, because I'm sure a group of bandits can disintegrate a body.
Well, you
Look,
never
the
know.
front gate, okay? That just seems really bandity, and I don't know why we. Oh yeah! And I look at Carden.
Garden's like, what? What's bandity?
In order to appease you, we had to set fire to something.
I mean, fair. Let's do this.
No!
Oh no! We're not talking about burning down this house.
The front gates of the bandit camp.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Jeez, pyromaniac.
But I'm the one with the fire spells.
Me too.
Me 3.
So wait, the only one without fire is the one who likes it the most.
Exactly.
Anyone else think what fire?
You don't know if I have fire spells or not.
I mean, that's
I feel like we would have found out by now.
He has never cast fire, but that doesn't mean he can't. At least as far as you guys are aware.
That would be really weird. And totally unexpected. Of course, we didn't expect him to come from the surface either.
Yeah.
Now, what now? Varn says, kind of looking over.
That's something that will be discussed in the.
That's a side plot.
That's the main plot. This is the side plot.
This is in line with the main plot.
Yeah.
All right. Kind of like you can see Varn is visibly frustrated, and look and see Keljan like racking his brain trying to figure something out, and he kind of looks to Varn and just, I'm sorry, I got nothing. Understand. We appreciate aid that you provided to our. Appreciate rescue not just one but that we were However, it is beginning to get late, and I can clearly tell that I
Extremely.
recommend you guys back to the inn. Come to us in the morning, and we will have prepared your troubles. Apart from attending.
Do you think we could have a guard for the night? I wouldn't trust that this guy wouldn't somehow sneak in. I don't know his capabilities. You said he's a fighter. I'm going to guess some abilities. Mm.
We'll station some guards in the area. Have to. We'll do what we can. I understand your hesitation. Kind of nods, and him and the alderman begin to leave. Guards begin separate back out into the. What would you guys like to do?
I'm ahead for that
Wait.
tavern.
Wait. Shouldn't we check the forge first?
Yeah.
You guys,
Or
We shall.
we can always do that in the morning.
Fair.
I mean,
I don't think the forge is going anywhere.
at the very least, let's make sure that they'll be open. What time they'll open?
as you guys kind of get back into, as you guys were a little bit north, you see that the smoke from the forge has begun to die down a little. Gather that it's at the very least beginning to close down, kind of on the way. So basically, you guys can see the forge. The inn would general area roughly.
Oh, way down there, bottom right. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I didn't put.
Yeah, scroll down.
So I'll kind of adjust. Kind of down here.
Because I'm at 70% zoom.
Yeah, I don't like some of the updates Roll20 has done. So yeah.
But yes, bottom
kind of in-
right corner.
Yeah. So the tavern or inn is kind of in
There.
that general area, and the alderman's meeting hall is essentially in the general area, but kind of further off map. Reference point of how you travel. And then if you look north, you guys traveled in.
Yes, please.
You guys traveled into that general direction.
Done. In.
That is what
Good enough.
that is what you guys decided to go back to the end.
After
Yeah.
making sure the forge will be open in the morning.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you don't. I mean, there's no sign that hangs there. So.
But I asked someone nearby, hey, does whatever her name was, is she going to be there in the morning? Because I don't know if she has a day off.
They kind of look at you. Yeah, they'll be there in the morning. I don't know. Holiday. kind of walks, kind of in thought.
Watch as it's actually in the morning.
As far as you're aware,
So
you open in the
I hate to ask, but what has our messenger been doing this whole time while we've been away?
You don't know.
Let's head to the inn and find out.
Huh.
Currently, kind of, or I guess you guys look around. Are you guys looking around?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure he's still here.
Yeah, he's pretty easy.
He's a beardless dwarf.
He's really sensitive about that.
Yeah. Really hasn't mentioned a whole lot about it. Guys enter and eating and drinking. Currently eating. You guys don't recognize. Kind of eating. Acknowledge. Doesn't really save you.
I would think we would go over to him.
I won't interrupt.
I'll follow the charismatic guy.
Deanock's too fucking tired to care.
Yeah.
And whatever, he's just following whoever's in front of him, and they get to a table, he is going to collapse into the chair.
$5 silver.
I'm gonna get something hearty.
A hearty meal or a hearty drink?
Meal.
Cardin is going to get a gold meal.
I would say that's effectively a hearty meal. And
Fair enough. Because I don't know how lore friendly this is, but I want to think that using a lot of magic is definitely gonna make your metabolism go nuts.
Makes sense.
No,
Takes a lot of energy out of you.
And it does. It is using all of your magic is very draining. Like using energy as a person, and being a individual who basically, as somebody who studied for years to craft, it is a very intensive time to cast and use magical, especially when you're. It kind of feels like you have a migraine after waking up with a hangover. Like, for you anyway. For you, Katya.
Yeah.
But you magic, the more drained of it, feel like you could.
Well,
Not that
let's
you-
see.
not
I've
that
used
you
all my
would.
I've used all my second level spell slots, so that would be a good portion of my energy right there. I've hiked in the woods for a few hours today. Fought some things, almost died. Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
And
Valinar,
Valinar.
how does it feel for him? Okay.
Valinar, is your magic from another? It's not as it is physically tiring and taxing casting conduit, fine energy cleric. But other than just being,
Okay.
you're just tired.
Really tired.
Mhm.
It's been a long day.
It has.
Without you, my friend.
So, guys, get a nice hot meal expenditure. Rooms that you.
The more you talk about sleep, the more sleepy I get.
Because
Yeah.
that is a good natural ending. Hey, actually, we're like right on time. So it's just a good natural ending spot, I feel like. And
Feels good to me.
I think it's an appropriate spot to end.
Been a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you guys avoided combat, kind of.
For now.
Yeah. You guys have successfully aided in west from the city of Deja.
Yay!
Woohoo.
Yeah, I had to go somewhere else.
All right.
I feel like that's worth a level.
No, the more you say it, the more I don't want to give it to you.
I know. But this is the most exciting part as a player.
I mean, we could just ditch you, or even.
All right.
Is that
I
casting
want-
fireball?
I
Is
want
that
that
casting
freaking
fireball
level.
on the DM?
No,
Are you-
it's
are
at you.
Oh,
Oh,
to,
me?
to
Why?
Katya. I'm like, yeah, who are you casting that at?
Shut up.
Shit.
Let me get my level eventually.
Okay, I'll stop talking. I'm having fever dreams. It's been a long, long day.
All right. Well, this week, you can find me here on .tv Ripper. Sunday will be self, Romulus, and Blonde Baby. We'll probably be
Hopefully.
playing for Borderlands 3.
Finally.
We'll probably end up doing that this week, Sunday and Wednesday, from probably 9 or 9:30 p.m. Eastern time to. But Monday, Romulus and I have started a new series called Monster Hunter Mondays.
Woohoo!
So Monday we'll be playing Monster Hunter. Kinda
Monster
starting
Hunter
fun.
World.
Yeah, Monster Hunter World. So we'll kind of be starting from scratch there, working our way through the story up and probably into Iceborne eventually.
We just beat the Girototus and are trying to get weapons and armor and bits and baubles.
Yeah,
By the way,
Good luck.
we need that thunder resistance because our next enemy is the Toby Kadachi.
what he said.
Yeah.
And then next Friday we'll be back here again, playing some more Dungeons and Dragons, and we'll see what happens from there. So,
Good.
Rom, do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, you can find me not only every single Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on my channel, twitch.tv/Romulus, but you also see me there tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time again, playing Dark Souls 3 Cinder's mod. We've completed the journey, and we are starting our second round. We're mages now, boys. We the squishy one.
That just sounds like a bad idea.
I mean, mage in Dark Souls was and always has been a bad idea, but the Cinders mod fixes a lot of those problems.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're not squishy anymore, or you're still squishy, but you no longer have that set limit of spells you are constrained by.
Oh, okay.
Because in Dark Souls 2, each spell had a limited number you could use. Like an actual limit number. Like cards. Spell cards, basically.
Oh, fantastic.
3, you had a magic bar, and you just had to fiddle with the Ashen Estus flask to regain mana, and your spells cost so much mana, so cast, drink. Cinders mod.
Sounds like a-
Regenerated. It can be. Cinders mod adds regenerating magic. Your spell meter regenerates. Holy frickin' Luya, and it makes casters OPAF.
Those of you who don't know text lingo, that translates to overpowered as fuck.
Because
Nice.
there is a spell called Heal, which heals you.
Oh, is that what that does?
Duh, right? But
Oh my god, that's
now,
like a 7th level spell.
but now you can, instead of like relying on your normal Estus flask and having, the limit of 15 max heals, which can be 15 hits if you're that bad, you now have a regenerating magic bar to cast Heal multiple times. So yeah, Miracles healing OPAF.
Right, anything else going on for you?
Nope, just
All right.
that I'm there every single night. Rip's playing so far, unless he does a surprise single player stream.
Don't have time for that.
Of OPAF. Speaking of that. Speaking of OPAF. The podcast will finally be out on Tuesday. Hallelujah. Everybody can check me out at World of Caleb on Podbean starting on Thursday. Or Tuesday. Sorry. It was originally going to be last week, but computer issues.
Yeah,
He
his
touched
computer
something
decided
and
to
it
put the
broke.
That sounds about right.
Alright, guys. Well, that's going to be it for us for tonight. You guys all have a great night, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Good night.
Night.
Night, everyone.